close your eyes and imagine you're at your 5th birthday party. Imagine that very special gift, the one that you wanted to receive the most. Has everyone got that gift in their mind? Because I know I do. On my 5th birthday, this is the gift that I wanted the most, a Dr. Ken doll. I love playing with dolls. I call them action figures then, but I know now that they are the same thing, in fact, as dolls. And so my parents got me this Dr. Ken doll for my 5th birthday. And they didn't quite get the reaction that they expected from me. And that's because I didn't get this Dr. Ken doll. No, I got black Dr. Ken doll. And so when I received black Dr. Ken doll, I actually cried. Now, some of you may laugh, but I cried because in my mind, I couldn't imagine someone being black and being a doctor at that same time. I cried because somehow I already learned that black people, people who shared my same skin tone, could not grow and become doctors, could not achieve the highest educational status here in our country today. Now, despite having 2 parents with advanced degrees, I still believe that at the young age of 5. Luckily for me, those same parents were able to teach me and allow me to believe in myself and to learn that I could obtain a higher education. However, not every student, not every black and brown child has that same role model in their life to show them that they too can achieve great things. Every day in our country, black and brown children are constantly bombarded with negative images showing them that we value less, that we're not as important, that we're not as capable. So today I'm going to show you a little bit of the history by offering 2 examples that teach you where those negative images came from and how they're still prevalent here today. Then I'll show you 2 very important messages designed to combat those very same negative stereotypes. And finally, seeing as how I am black, I will offer my white counterparts in the room, and anyone else who doesn't identify as black, a reason for why you too would benefit from believing in the Black Lives Matter movement. So I want to start with an article written in 1999 by Laura Green, who is a counselor at Virginia Commonwealth University. In that article, she goes on to describe several stereotypes that came about in our early American history. And I'm going to show you 2 today. Starting first with the mammy, who is generally depicted as the loud and big black woman. Next, we have the savage, or the brute, who is an angry, aggressive black man, whose main concern is usually chasing after a white female. Now, Laura Green says that many of those stereotypes are not as prevalent in our society today, but she argues that these 2 that I just showed you are very, very real, even to this very day. In the form of Medea, who also happens to be a big, loud black woman, and LeBron James, depicted here in this fashion editorial, as an angry, aggressive black male who's chasing after the nice white woman. Laura Green also found that these images and these negative stereotypes tend to negatively impact African Americans the most. They tend to affect us because we internalize that and really believe those lessons of inferiority, as I illustrated with my story of Dr. Ken earlier today. Luckily for us, there's 2 movements designed to combat these very negative images. The first one being Black Girls Rock. Now, Black Girls Rock is an award show created by Beverly Bond that airs on Black Entertainment Television, or BET. Black Girls Rock is a show that was designed to show black girls that they too have a space and that they can achieve. Beverly Bond recently appeared on the Melissa Harris Perry Show to talk about why she created this show. She says, and I quote, "We're missing in the story, our narrative is missing. Or when we do see ourselves, we are being degraded or demeaned. And I knew that there needed to be a counter to that. I knew that I needed to start the show not only to show young girls role models, but I also knew that it was important to mentor our young girls." Another movement that's currently risen up that you've probably seen is the Black Lives Matter movement. Now, Black Lives Matter started off as a simple hashtag and has grown into this huge global movement combined to completely retell the story of the black experience and to show that we are just as valuable and that we are just as important. According to their website, Black Lives Matter is a call to action to fight the oppressive anti-black racism that exists here in America today. Now, many critics would say spaces like Black Lives Matter or Black Girls Rock are acts of reverse racism, claiming that the focus on Black Girls Matter, or Black Girls Rock, or Black Lives Matter is an act of division rather than of unity and of celebration. Now, Olivia Cole, who is a journalist for the Huffington Post, who also happens to be white, does not believe that those spaces are acts of reverse racism. And she offers this very powerful quote in opposition to that. She says, "White people are in everything. 99% of Hollywood movies feature your faces. 99% of magazine covers are covered in you. The Emmy Awards and Oscars are almost entirely you. If you Google beautiful people, the screen is covered in white faces. Black girls and boys are taught from birth that there is one version of beauty. And I would say that version of beauty is clearly not one representative of me or people who look like me." Now, as I said earlier, and as you can probably tell just by looking at me, I do identify as Black. And so I do automatically feel like I support the Black Lives Matter movement. However, I would like to offer another perspective as to why you too, if you do not identify as Black, stand to gain and stand to improve if you join in and say that Black Lives Matter. Quinn Norton, who is also another white female journalist who writes for the online blog, The Medium, says that racism has often been framed as a problem of people of color. And she says that people of color are often the ones who must fight that racist issue, and must fight racism, and must stand, as I am here today, and advocate on behalf of our own people. She goes on to say that racism needs to be framed as a problem of white people. Racism is a problem of white people that has now become a problem for everyone else. Now, I understand that this is a little divisive, and I would tend to disagree with her here. I would say that racism is not just a problem of white people, it's not just a problem of Black people. Racism is a problem of everyone. The loss of these 4 lives and other lives who have been lost due to the color of their skin and not the content of their character is a problem that all of us must undertake and all of us are responsible for fighting. So after hearing some of the history of the negative stereotypes that have depicted me and people like me in a negative light, and after seeing some of the movements that exist to fight those images, and after offering up a different perspective, hopefully one that you'll listen to a little bit more, I would like to hope to ask you that next time you hear Black Lives Matter, I ask that you please don't hear only Black Lives Matter. That is not the point of the Black Lives Matter movement. Instead, I would ask that you join in with the rest of us, chant and show the rest of the world that Black Lives Matter as well. Thank you.